What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another episode of player ratings. Since last night, I've really not been looking forward to making this one for you guys, but let's get straight into it because we have got a lot of players to get through, seeing as it did go down to extra time, went down to the wire last night. Obviously, a 3-0 loss to Zagreb. Tottenham go crashing out in embarrassing style and disgraceful style out of the Europa League. Let's get into the player ratings. Let's start off with Hugo Lloris. We gave him a 5. Hardly made a save, to be honest. Didn't have much to do. 3 goals that went past him. You wouldn't say any of them were his fault, would you?
I'd say he'll probably be bit disappointed with the third one. I think he gets a decent hand to it. Probably should be saving it. But other than that, the first goal was unstoppable. Second goal from close range, don't expect him to stop that. So other than the third goal, couldn't have done much of it, and even that was a bit harsh to blame him, but I think he does get a hand to it, so I think he probably should be saving it.
I think he does get a mark up for his interview after the game, because I think that need to be said, and especially him being a captain as well, it just really needed to be said, and we needed to hear something like that from one of our players, because too many of them will just walk off that pitch and not give a shit about what happened on that pitch, and at least he's standing up and being accounted for. Yeah,
I think he was absolutely right in everything he said. And it was nice. It was good to hear at least someone trying to take a bit of responsibility and saying this is a squad is not good enough from this squad of players, and we haven't heard that enough this season. And it was very damning, and it had to be said. Yeah.
Let's move on to Serge Aurier. We gave him a 3. When you cast your mind back to the first leg, he was absolutely brilliant. He was absolutely everywhere. But this performance was quite the opposite. I mean, I thought he was absolutely dreadful. I thought his defensive play wasn't really good. His attacking play wasn't really good. And I don't know what he was doing on that pitch yesterday. Kept giving the ball away. I mean, it was just a really, really sloppy performance from Serge.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with him whatsoever. It was just one of those really off performances from him. He was just sloppy in possession. He seemed to get bullied a bit, but Orsic gave him a tough time throughout that whole game as well. He couldn't deal with Orsic, and it was his fault, I felt, letting Orsic cut inside for the first goal, giving him way too much space. And obviously it was a great goal, but he should have done a lot better with that Aurier. And for the third goal as well, letting Orsic, he was one of those 3 players who just let Orsic run past him. So frustrating. And I felt a number of times he was getting forward, but had a bit of a lack of quality in the final third as well. Wasn't able to pick out a cross. So really frustrating from Serge. And usually see him as more aggressive, and he's more on the front foot, and he wasn't like that yesterday.
Erik Dier, we also gave him a 3. Another bad display from Erik Dier, which we've been seeing week in, week out pretty much all season. Jose, rightly so, has brought him out of the Premier League team. But look, in this game in the Europa League, well, we needed to win the game. We needed to get at least 1 goal, and we needed to be tighter in defence, and he just didn't help to contribute to that.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with Dier at all. He's supposed to be a leader at the back as well, and he just showed absolutely none of that yesterday. Just allowing us to be overawed. It was so poor, and I thought he tried in the extra time to force the issue and stride forward a lot, but it was too little too late, and it was a poor performance from Erik.
Davinson Sanchez, we also gave him a 3, which you got to say he has improved his performances of late, but the old Davinson Sanchez reared his ugly head today or last night. I really believe that. I felt that there were times where he was just miscontrolling it, misplacing passes, missing tackles.
There was one moment we miscontrolled and played their player through on goal. We had to recover.
At 2-2 or 2-1?
I think it was at 2-2. I think it was in the first half of extra time.
That's it. I mean, that
was horrific. He literally, and they could have scored from it.
Disgraceful.
It was so poor.
Disgraceful. Which moves us on to Ben Davies. We gave him a 3. Another poor performance from Davies as well. I think that he's nowhere near aggressive enough on that left-hand side, and I just don't know what he brings to the team anymore.
How many times did we say on live stream yesterday, and Davies had all this space in front of him? Every time we said it, and he just never went into it. Never went into the space.
He gets the ball with all this space, takes 1 step forward, and then he looks around, then just takes a step back and then passes backwards.
Either passes back or he just a hopeful ball down the line or something.
Yeah.
It never ever does anything with any purpose. so frustrating with Ben Davies. You expect him to have a bit of confidence. He's been playing for Tottenham for so long now. Like, you expect him to have that confidence with himself that he's a Tottenham player, he's a top professional, and he can have confidence on the ball against these kind of oppositions. But like yesterday, he absolutely showed no confidence whatsoever on the ball.
Let's be honest now. If Ben Davies leaves us this summer, what's like the top club he could go to?
Bottom half.
Sheffield United or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, where's he going to go? He's absolutely stealing a living at Tottenham Hotspur. Let's move on to Moussa Sissoko. We gave him a 2. Another player who's stealing a living at the moment because he has not been good enough this season. I firmly believe he's one of these players that does want Jose Mourinho out. That's not playing for the team, not playing for the badge, not playing for the manager, throwing the manager under the bus. He was absolutely too passive, no aggression whatsoever in his game yesterday, and just let the game pass him by for pretty much the whole game.
There was one moment. First of all, there's one moment that going around social media at the moment where we're on the attack and we give it to Sissoko on the right hand side. And he just like scoops it in the air like to no one where we're on the attack like at 2-2 in extra time. It's like that was classic Sissoko. I remember there was another one where the ball comes out to him. He just has to control the ball and put it back in the mix, and he can't even just control it. He can't do a simple first touch. Sissoko. Yeah. He is so average technically. It's painful to watch at times.
And when he doesn't put the effort in.
Yeah, the whole team.
There's nothing in there for him.
Exactly.
Because he doesn't have the quality on the ball.
No.
And what we said about Moussa Sissoko, covers every blade of grass, always puts in 100%. When he doesn't put in 100%, he looks like a League One player.
Yeah, he's wasted. He's wasted on the pitch, and that's what we're seeing at the moment with Sissoko. He was tasked to replace the legs of Højbjerg, but he was definitely not up to it yesterday. And so poor from Moussa Sissoko. Another poor performance from him.
Harry Winks, we gave him a 3. I thought he actually put in a lot of energy into this game, but I thought he just lacked a lot of quality. Again, I thought the game passed him by, and I think, for me, it's just time for Harry Winks to move on, in my opinion.
Again, no confidence in his passing. He gets the ball. He looks to look up, and I think as a coupled with a lack of movement and also lack of confidence in himself, just wasn't good enough from him. I felt, and another performance where Harry Winks starts and the team look bad. I don't know if there's a correlation on that, but poor from Harry Winks.
And you're looking at Harry Winks in the midfield yesterday to drive us on. He's the guy in that midfield that's supposed to have the forward passing. He's the guy in that midfield who's supposed to like play those thread of the needle passes and get our attacks going. The Ndombele role, and he's just not good enough, is he?
And also off the ball, really lacking.
I thought he actually put in a lot of effort and was running around a bit, but yeah, he was lacking. Let's move on to Erik Lamela. We gave him a 4. Again, Lamela, he has been good recently, but when you're looking at your attacking players to take responsibility in this game yesterday, all we needed was 1 goal, and you're looking for players to take responsibility, and I don't think Lamela did that.
We got the yellow card, and he looked like he was going to get sent off again. He really did, because after the yellow, he was like nipping at players, and he nearly committed a couple of fouls. And you're thinking, oh God, we need to get this guy off. But
his expected red card rate over Spurs, he's massively underdoing that, isn't he?
Definitely. He could have easily been sent off, but at least he had a bit of... I thought it was never a yellow, that first yellow. I don't know what he got given it for, but again, didn't show much, Lamela. He had that one moment in the first half where he nearly scored. Apart from that, didn't really offer much on the pitch.
All right, Lucas Moura, we gave him a 3. I did think the effort and desire was there from Lucas Moura, but he was lacking of quality and lacking of moments.
Yeah, on that he was on the left-hand side. In a few moments, he had the opportunities to take on his fullback, and it wasn't up to it yesterday. He was dribbling out of play. He was miscontrolling things.
How many times did he actually dribble it out of play? So many times, man.
It was really, really poor. Really, really frustrating from Lucas. And I felt like yesterday, I agree, just a serious lack of quality.
Dele Alli, we also gave him a 3. What did he do on that pitch yesterday? You're looking for players with special ability like Dele Alli to take that game by the scruff of the neck, provide a moment, get us a goal, create something, score something, get on the end of something. And he just did nothing. He just drifted through that game, and we got what we deserved.
He only did pretty much one thing that whole game. It was that through ball to Lamela, which he nearly scored from. Apart from that, I really don't remember anything Dele did. Got taken off after 65 minutes. There was that game against Fulham where, you know, he was pressing high and he was winning tackles up the pitch. We just haven't even seen that since that game. Literally, he's had a few chances since that game to show he's still got that hunger. And that's the thing with Dele. It's like when Mourinho first came in, he got that bounce, he was playing really well, then he dropped again. It's like this guy can't keep up any sort of level performance. It's so frustrating. And there was another show of that example of that yesterday.
All right, last of the starting 11, Harry Kane. We gave him a 3 as well. When you're looking for your talisman to step up, drag us through this game like he has done so many times before, he just doesn't do that. He had that golden chance, completely open goal to put us into the next round, and he just completely fluffs it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Anywhere but there, and it's a goal. Anywhere but there, it's a goal. You've got to score that. He didn't, and he's also another one that drifted through this game.
It's meat and drink that should have been for Harry Kane, that one. Absolute meat and drink. And I feel like with Harry, I do feel like he always tries his best. And I feel like a lot of the times yesterday, he was trying to change the game for us, but he really wasn't helped by the rest of his teammates. But at the end of the day, he missed that header after a great ball from Bale. He missed that header from the back post, which was cleared off the line, and then the gilt-edged chance right at the end. And either of those go in, and we're through to the next round. And he's bit too massive misses, and that's not the first time recently we've been talking about big misses from Harry Kane costing us.
Let's move on to the substitutes. Gareth Bale came on for Erik Lamela. We gave him a 4, and I actually thought Gareth Bale, he was pinging the ball around nicely over the top balls and trying to make stuff happen, a few crosses in the box and stuff like that. But ultimately, every time he got the ball, he was completely isolated. Nobody was moving for him, and it was a hard task for him coming on.
Yeah, I thought it was difficult for him when he was picking the ball up inside his own half occasionally, and he was being hounded, and it wasn't easy then. But once he did get the ball in the final third, I thought he was really one of the main players looking to make something happen, and nearly did. He had that shot from 25 yards and went just wide. He had that really good cross to the back post for Harry Kane, who nearly scored, but was cleared off the line. And he had that chance just before Kane missed his chance, where good ball, through ball by Lo Celso. He shot at the near post, but it was a really good save from the keeper, stopping it from going in. So if anyone was going to make something happen, it looked like it was going to be Gareth Bale, but it was too little too late, unfortunately.
Giovani Lo Celso came on at 68th minute for Dele Alli. He looked like quite off the pace, quite visibly off the pace in my opinion. I thought that there were some good moments in there, some running around from Lucas Moura, some good attacking moves, but ultimately it looked like he was lacking in match sharpness big time. I thought he was losing the ball quite a bit, but on the flip side, I did think it was good to see him back, and I really hope that he can start playing more, because you did see a bit of a spark with him as well.
Yeah, it was hot and cold, I felt like, with Lo Celso. I thought a lot of the times, I agree, it was very rusty. I think it was more early in his performance. I think in the half an hour and the 90 minutes, in the first 90 minutes he played, he looked really rusty and was miscontrolling a lot of the balls and misplacing a lot of his passes, and he did seem off it. But once extra time came around, I think he did start to get his foot on the ball. He played that really nice through ball to Bale, who should have scored that chance. That was a really good pass from Lo Celso, and I think he did start to open them up. I think he was the one out of all our players trying to play the clever passes and really trying to unlock that defence, and it nearly came off. He also nearly scored, but his shot was deflected and the keeper made the save and it didn't go in. But yeah, so I thought it was hot and cold from Lo Celso, but yeah, it's good to see him back.
Tanguy Ndombele came on the 68th minute for Harry Winks, and I thought he did improve from Harry Winks' performance. I thought he was getting it in there, beating a few men, trying to make stuff happen, but still, ultimately, it wasn't good enough. People around him weren't moving, and it was just a really hard task for him.
Yeah, I think a few times he could have picked better options in passes than he did. But at least he was much better with him and Lo Celso on the pitch together. I want to hopefully see a bit more of that going forward. But again, I think he'll be disappointed he couldn't do more with what he did. I think a lot of the times he's actually making some good tackles and good interceptions and winning the ball back for us quite a lot to try and get us back on the front foot. But ultimately, we failed, and I think he has to take responsibility as well for that.
And the last of the ratings is Carlos Vinicius. We gave him a 3. He came on the 85th minute, just before half-time, for Lucas Moura. And I thought he was full of running. He was looking for the ball, but there was just nothing in it for him, really.
He had one chance, really, and it was a shot that got blocked. It got cut back from Lo Celso, I think, and the chance got blocked. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough. And he'll be also disappointed he probably didn't get more than one chance. He was doing that poacher role in and around the box. You could see he was like trying to snap up anything that fell for him. And I think when Kane missed that chance as well, he was on the follow-up and nearly tried to get the shot away. But unfortunately, the defending from Zagreb blocked all his shots and he couldn't find the back of the net.
Two other subs we're not just going to give a rating on. They came on in extra time. Reguilon for Davies, who I thought was poor when he came on.
Yeah, he looked poor. For some, I don't know why he was so off it, but every time he got the ball on that left-hand side, there's a few nice overlaps, but other than that, he just looked, I don't know, like panicking on the ball, no composure. He's usually got such good delivery in the final third. He did have one good cutback for Vinicius, I just mentioned. I think it was him. And he definitely looked better than Davies, but he looked a bit off it for some reason. He seemed like too desperate to try and make things happen, and then he kept running down blind alleys and stuff and miscontrolling it, and that was frustrating.
Yeah, and Bergwijn, who came on for Aurier in the 107th minute in extra time.
Yeah.
I thought Bergwijn was running at them, was trying to make stuff happen as well. Like we said, for a few players, he was getting the ball in the box and like quite threatening, but still, like ultimately, his final ball never did anything.
Yeah, and a few times as well, he was running down the line and being shepherded out and being put into the corner and stuff. And unfortunately, I think he put in maybe one good cross. Other than that, nothing to show for it for Bergwijn.
Jose Mourinho, he's got to take a long, hard look at the way things are going at the moment. How do you assess how he set us up for this game?
I think, apart from, as Mourinho said, in the last 10 minutes where we did open up Zagreb a number of times, how we didn't score, I don't know. I think he's got to take a lot of responsibility for the fact that we look so poor going forward. And the way he's managed the squad, because if he can't get these fringe players on side and playing for him in these important games where, if we can progress in the Europa League and get far, it could mean a lot to a lot of these players who've never won anything. So the fact that the fact that these players can't get motivated, it's obviously on the players, but it's on him as well. And he had to get that message across and make sure they understood how much yesterday meant, and they didn't understand that. And in terms of the way we attacked yesterday, the way we went forward, it's too poor. I'm sorry. And whether he's telling them to do that or not, he's the one who sets the team up, and he's the one who's coaching them in a way and how to attack and how to do these things. The buck stops with
him, doesn't it?
And unfortunately, they're not doing it for him at the moment. I've defended him a lot. I think a lot of the times this season we've had performances where we made a lot of chances and we've missed a lot of chances, and then a mistake at the back has cost us. We haven't won. But performances like yesterday are completely on him. That was akin to the Brighton performance, the Chelsea performance,
Arsenal
Everton,
on the weekend as well.
Arsenal, and those performances he have to lay at Jose's feet at the end of the day. And now out of Europa League, no chance of winning silverware on that competition, which a lot of the eggs were in that basket for us this season. And to chuck it away so easily is one of his big failures. And this could be one of the moments where we look back and say, this is beginning of the end for Jose at the moment. It could
very well be one nail in his coffin at Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, big nail, especially if we lose to Villa and if it's a damaging defeat. It could be goodbye for Jose. Unfortunately,
if we go to Villa Park and lose 3-4-0 this weekend, I wouldn't put us past sacking him before the end of the season.
Sacking during the international break, I think.
Yeah.
At this rate, as much as I still want it to work out for Jose, and
of course we all do, because we're Tottenham fans and we just want Tottenham to do well. That's the ultimate aim.
I still believe he's got good. There's a good football brain in there, but unfortunately, he hasn't been able to get a number of the players on side, especially the ones who Lloris pointed out as the ones who aren't starting and stuff. They haven't got the mental capacity to deal with him. And unfortunately, he hasn't been able to adapt his coaching methods to get them on side. And he's got to take responsibility for that. So that's where we're at with Mourinho at the moment. And I think at the moment, it looks like he's going to end up costing his job.
All right, well, those are the player ratings. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree with our player ratings. If you disagree, let me know yours in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.